Hybrid identity changes can enable seamless access, but only when they work under real conditions. In this topic, we'll validate sync, authentication, and access, troubleshoot issues methodically, and plan safe rollback before problems reach users. We've already built the foundation: Active Directory basics, Entra ID architecture, migration planning, and hands-on hybrid synchronization. Now we shift from implementation to confidence. We'll test what was configured, troubleshoot anything that does not behave as expected, and prepare rollback so changes stay safe and controlled. Testing hybrid identity means proving the full identity path, not just confirming that synchronization completed. Begin with the source account in Active Directory. Follow it through sync into Entra ID, then verify authentication, authorization, and application access. Use representative cases: standard users, privileged users, synced groups, and accounts that should be excluded. Test both sides of access control: users who should get in and users who should be blocked. Capture baseline results early before later migration changes make troubleshooting harder. After deploying Entra Connect Sync or Cloud Sync, validation should be repeatable, not improvised. First, confirm sync cycles complete, connectors are healthy, and there are no critical import or export errors. Then inspect the user objects: UPN, mail, proxy addresses, immutableId, display name, and enabled or disabled state. From there, test authentication end-to-end, including password hash sync, password changes, reset behavior, and real sign-in. Finally, confirm access outcomes across groups, licenses, conditional access, and key applications. The goal is evidence, not assumption. Synchronization health comes first, because every access decision depends on current identity data. Confirm the latest cycle completed import from the source, synchronization through the rules engine, and export to Entra ID. Then check each connector or cloud provisioning agent. A healthy Entra connector does not help if the ADDS connector is failing. When errors appear, classify them by object, attribute, and operation, so you can tell whether the issue is isolated or systemic. Also verify timing. Changes should arrive within the expected window. Attribute validation makes identity matching predictable. Start with the user principal name. It should use a verified domain and match the sign-in format users are expected to use. Then check uniqueness for mail, proxy addresses, and user principal name, because duplicates can break mail routing or cause the wrong object to match. For synced users, the source anchor or immutableId must remain stable over time. A practical approach is to compare a pilot group side by side between on-premises AD and Entra ID, then resolve mismatches before expanding synchronization. Password validation proves hybrid identity is usable, not just configured. Use a synced user to confirm sign-in through Microsoft 365 or the Entra portal. Then verify the authentication method you selected: password hash sync or pass-through authentication. Change the password in Active Directory and confirm it reaches Entra ID within the expected window. Also test edge cases, including lockout behavior, disabled accounts, and password reset expectations. Sign-in logs are essential because they show whether failures come from sync, authentication, policy, or user state. Group membership is where many migration issues become visible. A group may sync into Entra ID correctly, but that alone does not prove licensing, application assignment, or authorization will work. Validate each path end-to-end: security groups, Microsoft 365 groups, dynamic groups, assigned groups, and synced groups. Pay close attention to nested groups, because target applications do not always evaluate nested membership the same way. Then test real access changes. Add a user to a key group, remove a user, and confirm the result matches the intended policy. If a pilot user cannot open SharePoint, the sign-in log is the source of truth. Review the status, failure reason, authentication requirement, client app, device, location, and IP address. Then check whether conditional access was applied, excluded, or blocked by design. If MFA was required, confirm the prompt appeared and completed successfully. After adjusting policy or user conditions, retest priority apps such as Microsoft 365, Teams, SharePoint, and key SaaS tools. Save the log evidence so troubleshooting and sign-off are based on facts, not user reports alone. When synchronization fails, avoid guessing. Classify the error first. Attribute conflicts usually mean two objects share a value that must be unique, such as UPN, mail, or proxy address. Format problems mean the value exists, but Entra ID cannot accept it. Permission issues point to the sync account, directory rights, or blocked attribute updates. Matching issues occur when cloud and on-premises identities do not join as expected. This gives you a practical triage path. Identify the category, then investigate the specific object and attribute. Entra ID treats several identity attributes as unique keys. A duplicate user principal name, mail, or proxy addresses value can stop export because Entra ID cannot determine which object owns that sign-in or messaging address. The conflict may involve two synced users, a cloud-only account, a contact, or a group. Primary SMTP entries are especially sensitive. The uppercase SMTP value must be unique and properly formatted. The troubleshooting sequence is straightforward. Find the object holding the duplicate, fix the authoritative source attribute, and run synchronization again to export the corrected identity. Uniqueness is only one part of a clean sync. Entra ID also has to understand the value. A UPN like jli@corp.local may be unique, but if corp.local is not a verified tenant domain, it can fail or create sign-in problems. Convert it to a routable verified suffix like jli@contoso.com. The same principle applies to characters and formatting. Avoid symbols or patterns. Entra ID does not accept. Proxy addresses are especially strict. Uppercase SMTP marks the primary address, while lowercase SNetTP marks secondary aliases. Before moving beyond pilot users, normalize naming rules so accounts follow a predictable pattern. Permission errors usually appear when the sync identity can reach a system, but cannot perform the requested action. For Entra Connect Sync, verify that the ADDS connector account can read required attributes and write any attributes used by enabled features. Password hash sync, password writeback, and group writeback each add their own permission requirements. For Cloud Sync, confirm the agent is healthy, registered, and has outbound connectivity to Microsoft services. Follow the failure path through event logs, provisioning logs, and sync error details to find where access was denied. During recovery, reduce the blast radius before changing identities. Pause sync, narrow the scope, or stop provisioning as appropriate. Then diagnose how objects are matching. Soft match uses familiar attributes like UPN or SMTPP, so duplicates or conflicts can appear when values are wrong. Hard match uses the immutable source anchor and should be handled carefully when aligning an existing cloud account to Active Directory. Before resuming production sync, validate the corrected configuration in staging mode on a secondary server. Communicate expected user impact, then resume sync and monitor joins, access, and licensing. To close, remember the operational pattern. Validate, troubleshoot, and recover. Confirm sync, attributes, authentication, groups, logs, and app access before expanding scope. Expect issues such as duplicate attributes, invalid UPNs, proxy conflicts, permissions, and matching problems. Most importantly, plan rollback upfront. That discipline protects users and prepares you for device, application, and access migration in Module 5.